listen to the show. One room shack on the elevator. Control, I'm told. Where is the mayor who make all these things? He lives outside. I'm polluted air. And I didn't have to be here. You didn't have to love me. While I was just a nothing child. Why couldn't they just let me be? Let me be, let me be, let me be. Y'all bring me on in. I'm on the road. We on the road. Right on, we on the road. Going live from the road. I guess it's time to take another chance. You are now in the history. Don't care now what nobody says. Fremont right on these. I'm gonna, yup. I'm waiting on the driver coming in now. Yup. Random coffee, coffee, caffeine, and Cub and community love. Fremont, we live in direct. Fremont. Heads up, eyes open, the fist clench, y'all. Live and direct, y'all. Y'all, Fremont, heads up, eyes open, the fist clench, y'all. Spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history, y'all. Let's get locked in over another episode of Fremont Radio. We are on the road as we speak, y'all. On the road. Oh man, we can't go nowhere. I need this Wi-Fi. I had to pull on and get some Wi-Fi. Y'all, man, dealing with this situation right now, man. You know, man, my therapy be them, amongst other things, them puppies, man. So I'm dealing with a situation right now. These Hampton House hounds, man. I take y'all through the process, take y'all through the travels and travails, the ups and downs, and the birth, the life, the death, the process, all that, And one of the things about dialectical materialism is you recognize that, situations are constantly being born and growing as well as dying and disintegrating. And I get I don't know what's the situation here, man. I get this puppy real sick right now. I just get word in Chicago, one of them passed, one of them died, one of the puppies. So I don't know if it's and what. It's just on the side on the information about oh damn. Oh wow. It blocks like the live was blocked. It may contain mute. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Facebook tried to they stopped the video with the music. Okay, well the music ain't on right now. Okay, is it back on? Yeah. They monitoring it. They monitoring it. They monitoring it. They looking. They monitoring it. One of the things that I guess I'm gonna be like a veterinarian for y'all right now too. This thing I be kind of cautious. It's called parvovirus, y'all. Yeah, so that's a thing that really they mess with my live now. Damn, damn, they fucking with it. Okay, let's see what happened. Okay, we on the road. Let's go back live Instagram. I'm trying to see if this works, y'all. Let's get right to this show, y'all. I'm telling a few things in hand right now. Okay, I got a few cases that's really tapped into us though, man. Long held political prisoner Rochelle St. Q McGee. For those not familiar with the case, Rochelle St. Q McGee, initially out of Louisiana and locked up for quite some time. Quite some time. In fact, maybe one of the longest held political prisoners documented in American history. Um, came, he was already locked up. He got put on the world stage. Okay, We're gonna try with him. Um, I get the Wi-Fi. Hold on, we're live now. What's that?
Oh, just how do you want to pay for that Parvo thing?
Okay, how much is that? Okay, 1 second. Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. We're going loud.
I'm just gonna take him and leave.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, no, no. How much? You can say how much. Ask how much that. That one. Yeah. Um, y'all bear with me 1 minute. Trying to juggle a few things. I gotta get this show off my chest. I gotta get this show done. Rochelle St. Q McGee, one of the longest held political prisoners in American history. Many of y'all, he's on the world stage. Became known to many. Case was young man child Jonathan Jackson had went to Marion County Courthouse in attempts to bring the prisoners, Solidarity brothers in particular, the prisoners in California. Jonathan was the younger brother of Field Marshal George Jackson. Jonathan Jackson just turned 17 years old. And he went out. When he went Judge Heaney and was one of those and the prosecutor, but the prisoners was John Christmas, John Clichette, another prisoner. But Jonathan Jackson was the famous quote was, "Gentlemen, I'll be taking over from here." It's a song called "Get Down" by Nas, a hip hop song, and Cam made loose reference to it when he went up in the courtroom, hollered out "Black Power." But Rochelle St. Q McGee was also there, and Jonathan Jackson. He was. John Jackson. They were talking about the prisoners were going to go to the local radio station, and broadcast to the world the conditions inside the prisons, inside the concentration camps. A logical question is what was going on so horrid that the people have to go to this extent to say expose what's going on inside these camps. Fast forward, they were subsequently young Jonathan Jackson was subsequently assassinated. The state even assassinated the judge. The judge, but Rochelle St. McGee survived, but he still remained captive. In fact, I'm sure many of y'all know about the case of Angela Davis. Vaguely, y'all not familiar. The case that she was given was actually this case was saying that the weapons that Jonathan Jackson had were allegedly supposed to be in her name. That's the case. You know what I'm saying? Um, you see, like the poster free Angela Davis, so on and so forth. That's the case. Um, Georgia Jackson, the mother of Field Marshal George Jackson, was quoted as saying, "They say he's just a child." She know he wasn't. He's a man child. Again, Jonathan Jackson was assassinated August 7, 1970, from the Marion County Courthouse. His older brother, who politicized him, was Field Marshal of the Black Panther Party, George Jackson. He was subsequently assassinated the following year, August 21st, 1971. There's word is it's not put out there officially. You've been seeing different rumors. You see the campaign when it testified about the Rochelle St. Q McGee campaign. There's also working on resources to welcome him back to the community. We got our guards up, you know what I'm saying? We want to, people can be real careful how to deal with it. He's way up. We just also got to get my statement together for Dr. Mutulu Shakur, who was just another political prisoner who was recently released, but we physically lost his transition recently. So there's a memorial for him August 5th. So keep y'all posted on that. And
I don't know. I just want to leave and not pay the bill.
okay,
I don't know.
go find um so now forgive me, I'm juggling a few things. That's Rochelle St. Q McGee. It's kind of like in limbo. What's the status on it? So waiting him to come back now. But that's why you see the whole campaign. So we want to intensify the call by freeing Rochelle St. Q McGee. We'll talk about the call. So the Cardi Russell case also. We'll talk about your thoughts on that. You know what I'm saying? The politics behind that. Young lady was in Hoover, Alabama, was allegedly supposed to be missing, but they sent up reports now she wasn't missing. It's back and forth. But I want to go a little deeper in that, to the politics of that. I want to touch on this something that's a contradiction. On the flyer, you seen an individual that's it's a discussion about not discussion. This discussion some issues, major issues. I'm using that term lightly. In general, people talk the different dynamics about in particular is a discussion in regards to, I think it was the Olympics or the sports arena. People, how you define it, men and women, so on and so forth. However, here's a case here. Here's a situation here. And every other day, people say, what's a correct political term or references when you in regards to race, gender. People say, well, you don't supposed to say this, you don't supposed to use the pronouns, so on and so forth. And the reality is everything is political, words and terms and fashion, everything. And the colonized community, when I say colonized, I'm talking about those who are held captive, those who deprived of power, that you are subjected to what is politically correct. In other words, if the ruling class say, okay, now we're going to say this is a minority now. You might fight for some resources. You think you're talking about affirmative action. Initially, that was the case. The black community was talking about. You think black people received that? When it came down, black people were not the recipients of the benefits from affirmative action. They played the word game. That's the state played the word game. So okay, when we say affirmative action, that can so we talking about the minority, we talking about white women, so on and so forth. This system is very Machiavellian with playing with schematics. In other words, you don't say what's a child. This is a system in which you have to be a certain age to obtain alcohol. A certain age, you know what I'm saying, to drive a driver's license. However, to fight for this country, to do certain things, it vacillates. Whenever it's in their interest, whenever it's in the system's interest, they're saying the question of power is, okay, now you're an adult. You follow what I'm saying? On one day, you see these children, 12, 13, 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? And then, by all means, you say that's a child. Then, when it's a case or something, when they're charged with something, black people in particular are raised up as even the way they describe it's a man, it's a woman, you know what I'm saying? And for you know it, you know what I'm saying? Or like even the question of sanity and insanity, like mental illness. When you know what I'm saying, when our community or this person, they're saying so on and so forth. Prison. As Minister UP said, prison is a microcosm of the outside community. So in the general community, we are deprived of power. In other words, our definitions. One day, like you see like when different sports events happen, you look at places like Utah, or whatever. They said the young white the youth. Listen to the words. The youth were celebrating the win of a hockey game. Black children, in particular other colonized communities, is gangs, riots. So you may say, "What's this? It's no big deal." But we're going to follow this trail of tears down to the impact, how it impacts people's lives. When you just even with the race as well as the gender dynamic. There was a dialogue in regards to the sports arena, and they said, "Well, how are you going to deal?" This came out around people was like, "Don't touch the subject about Jenner, Kris Jenner." They would say, "Don't touch this; is a touchy subject." And they said, "Okay, well, how is a person to be classified? Are they, you know what I'm saying, are they man or woman? Person comes in the Olympics, so on and so forth. Do they have a benefit?" And people say, "Well, you know what I'm saying." And one of America, hear me on this clearly. One of America's policies is to create chaos, then restore order. One of America's policies is to create chaos, then restore order. They go to Iraq and say it's not a difference between the Shiites and the Sunni Muslims. Not a community. There's a difference between men and women. And people get caught up like, well, I don't know how to deal with this. And it's offensive. You say, well, this is a woman's role, so on and so forth. You know, but the reality is, whether we're talking biologically, physically, there are differences between men and women. That's a reality. You want to talk scientifically, there are differences. I speak a lot of times. Certain dynamics that's in like the only race and class difference, contradictions and differences, gender. A woman could never explain to me or any other man the dynamics of childhood, bearing a child. I can learn to respect it. We can learn to respect it. That we can debate this all. That's a reality. The bone structure, how you move, so on and so forth. That's a reality. Certainly, talk about the dynamics like estrogen and pheromones. Pheromones. People say, well, okay, pheromones is, even clinically speaking, pheromones is a chemical that men, Capricorn, Virgos, Aquarius, men release. It's a whether you use deodorant or not, it's a reality. How you feel about it. It's a certain scent, it's a certain chemical, and it's certain dynamics that even other people can pick up on your presence that men release. There's certain dynamics that it's like a communication, like people, where women can communicate, was offensive to between women that men may not catch on, and vice versa. We made light of this recently. Matter of fact, man, I'm just thinking about this recently. I just came back from speaking in Wisconsin, and I was invited to all white event, all white party. At first, I said, well, I'll be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing all white parties. We made light about it. We went to the event. Leaving the event, I had got I was scared about wearing that because, like, that white or track stuff is gonna get dirty. My white Apple hat got dirty, and so we made it was something that's minimum. It got dirty, and subconsciously, myself and my brothers, I'm not okay, man. I'll take it to the cleaners, get it clean. Whatever. Even there's this. The sister with us, Toya. I'm not saying this subjectively about women, like, just trying to minimize them, to clean up. Automatically, she automatically got the hand sanitizer to clean up. There's certain dynamics, certain differences that men and women pick up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna lie. You pen paper. You get signal. How much?
280 for what?
Okay.
Right now, but then I said no, not 280. That's too much. And he says, well, we can fit in the dewormer, the fluid under the skin. There's all this in the 280.
Okay. Major minus. Yeah, okay.
280.
Well, struggle with it. Okay, let me figure that. Yes or no? Okay. Okay. Let me do this radio. Okay. We'll do this anyway. Give us a minute. Okay. I told him I'm dealing with some others. Okay. Okay. There are differences. So automatically, okay, the sister said automatically, she said, man, she like cleaned it up, so on and so forth. And I said, we made a joke about it. I said, man, women, and vice versa. I said certain things that men automatically think about. And I'm saying to say, like, I'm saying, let's cut to the chase. Like, I know it's not politically correct a lot of times to even acknowledge it. Like, you say, well, don't say this nationality. It's like a matter of fact, Don Lemon. I'm not no Don Lemon fan, the CNN broadcaster, they took him off CNN for even making a reference to another nationality, questioning the guy. Well, the deal is, the state, the state, they exploit that, and the deal is like we do what we call political preemptive strikes. We come through acknowledging contradictions. When the state tried to play different organizations against the Black Panther Party, the reason why one of the reasons why they were so unsuccessful in Chicago with the chairman, when the government sent letters to the Blackstone Rangers trying to make an antagonism between the Blackstone Rangers and the Black Panther Party. When Chairman Fred met with the Blackstone Rangers, they heightened the contradictions to be able to distinguish this organization from a revolutionary organization. So a lot of people say, "Oh, you should say that." It's not that there's something that's better, a man is better than a woman, or vice versa, but to acknowledge contradictions. Come through the door with this, because if you don't, it will be brought to you and you'll be acknowledged on someone else's terms, the state terms. It's kind of like when people say, "Well, I don't want to talk to my child about sex," or someone's going to talk to them about it, and it may not be on your terms. Case in hand. Notice the flyer. Notice the background. We can afford the luxury to have such, like, let's talk about the Black Panther Party. Forgive me on this, y'all. I'm back and forth. People say, well, somebody, I was in Minnesota, we was at George Floyd Square, and a young lady was telling me, well, all of us are Black, we all Black Panthers. I said, well, so what did you drink that snake oil from? And I said, well, Chairman, she means well. And I remember I was in Denver, Colorado. A brother told me, he said, well, man, everybody mean well. Why couldn't everybody get along? Why can't everybody be Black Panthers? And not to sound sacrilegious, I said to the brother, I said, I'm about to go to the north and do my prayers, my salat. I said, did I offend you? He said, yes. Because there's reality, there's a definition for a Muslim. There's a definition for a man. There's a definition for a male, for a female, for a woman. That's the reality. There's a politic to it. There's a history to it. You just can't come in and change what's okay. Now you walk up in AutoZone. You walk in, you have a Chevrolet car. You walk up in there and say, well, the Ford piece costs less. This guy put in my mind or identify my car as a Ford. Y'all familiar with Logan Prison and these different recently the relationship or taking the connection, not just those and the work that's put in about doing this past Mother's Day and other dynamics, the balance. I remember we took the No Soap, No Water in Stateville, Logan. We had to struggle. We had to not the struggle, the struggle, and also the dialogue, the conversation. When we got down to, you know what I'm saying, our comrades from this community, Conus and others, Cassandra, Dr. LaShawn, we said, okay, we have a certain amount of soap and water. We recognized that there was all these places with Stateville where the men was at, and the Logan where the women were at. And it was a position taken. It was a position taken from those who were in the men. Okay, well, they want a lot. At that time, their yield on we getting soap and water to them. I really want to put this out because all the bad press that go about men, they go. I'm on the air. Fremont, call back about 20 minutes. Fremont. Okay, I know I lost my volume. Let me call y'all back. Okay, let me go back on Instagram. I'm losing my volume. One second, y'all. Somebody said, why don't you just cancel the show? I got that. This has to happen. Because we serve hot food and hot politics.
I'm going to go walk down the street.
Okay. So, the dynamics. I wanted to point it out, the position that the men, on Instagram, keep back in with me, y'all. I wanted that to happen. I wanted to put that out there for a number of reasons. That the men took the position to yield, and you say, okay, well, acknowledging even things down to sanitary. It's important to note the difference, the different dynamics about that. Like even the different needs, particular needs with women. In Cook County, in infamous Cook County Jail, we make note about the 17-year-old women who were forced to rinse their sanitary napkins for reuse in Cook County Jail. You read Winnie Mandela's book. Excuse me, now the book that was written about Winnie Mandela, because she didn't write that book with some. It was talked about when Winnie Mandela was in prison, and she needed some sanitary tissues, and the guard said something to the effect that use your hands. When women, no, you look at movies and TV shows, you look at any prison experience. Notice how when they take men into a room, whatever, there's comment about, okay, you're gonna do 25 years, 75 years, you're gonna do a certain amount of time. Notice the psychic that's put out for the state for women, what may appear to be a simple question: do you have any children? To a man, then you might not see the significance of that. A woman, that strikes at a maternal. It strikes as it's intentional. It's not it's a strict the taking your children from you. That's it, and the state knows this. There are different dynamics than it. So when you talk about men and women, it's just not the physical dynamic of your private parts, your sex organs. You know, the different dynamics. You know, the hormone, all that, what you feel, how your emotion, and the system will try to get you caught with, well, what's better, or we just sit. You cannot devalue human beings down to that simplistic, that elementary of that of your body parts. You feel what I'm saying? It's a dynamic that the oppressor, the system that you in the breaking process. You talk about, like, even how they would TV shows with James Evans take the father about the man, the breaking process, the women, the communalism, that balance of our community is intentionally taken away. It's offset. And then you have reactionary responses. People say, well, I'm gonna be my mother's my mother and father. Impossible. Illogical, impossible, reactionary at its best. Impossible, illogical, and reactionary at its best. Yes. There's a certain, I told a cat one time, say, in Chicago with the street organizations, a cat ain't gonna have on no colors. But you can talk to him 2 seconds, you can pick up on him. It's a politics. So no, that's such and such. That's a disciple. That's a stone. That's a vice. It's a certain politic. It's a certain that's bigger than just their colors. It's their hairstyles. That thing they take it away from you. I was talking to some of these youngsters recently. They have no concept or ideology, all that. The Panther Party, it's a politic. People think I just throw a black jogging suit on, a black sweater. I'm a Black Panther. There's a certain sentiment to the Panther Party, a certain sacrifice, a certain service with the state. They say, okay, that's the Marine. He's the Army. You know what I'm saying? That's National Guard. It's a politic that comes with those different dynamics. Not the service person. But they just don't say, okay, they're going to make a move in Afghanistan and say, okay, send anybody in the armed force. They say, no. In particular, say the Navy SEALs going to do this. The structure, different dynamics. That's a reality. And places like prison, it's more intensified. It's more intensified. The race and class, gender is more intensified. Fast forward to the case at hand. Some places can afford the luxury. Some individuals can afford the luxury to be, well, don't use this term. We don't. It's offensive to be pronounced, on and so forth. When you're held captive, the state plays on that. It was not by coincidence that Assata Shakur was placed in a men's prison, not just placed in a men's prison. What type of men they placed her around? You feel what I'm saying? It's not by coincidence. It's not by coincidence that the type of males they will put around into the migrants in Chicago, what type of males the women would be placed around. It's political. It's not by coincidence that your first elementary school teachers happen to be majority white women. And you may say, well, they care about the community. There's a policy set up that their student loans can be forgiven more. This is a message in your brain as a child. That's your educator. Only school you will tell you most you will see a black male inside the school is a janitor, if that. It's political. For the state, that's the state. I'm talking about the prison administration. I'm talking about the policymakers to allow and encourage to place an individual who has a corrupt history with men who this individual is criminal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about criminal by state standards. I'm talking about criminal by community standards. There's certain, when I say community standard, in certain things, that's a no-go. That's a no-go. So, rapes, man, it's a no, man. It's a no-go. As we say, they don't carry no probation. Here's an individual that has a notorious history in men prisons. And not only just men prisons, but men. See, different prisons like Pontiac. Pontiac was named after an indigenous individual who had a hell of a history. Go-getter. The native people. Pontiac, 2 days ago, was the anniversary of the Pontiac 17 case. 5 of them are still alive. Larry Hoover was still held captive. That's really the case that put them on a map. Mayor Daley Jr. was one of the prosecutors on that case, which they never forgot. That Pontiac prison, Pontiac, Illinois, one of the most biggest uprisings inside the camps throughout the country. Pontiac was known for years as the Thunderdome or Gladiating School. That's what Pontiac was known for. Stateville was known as the nucleus, the brain center. So for an individual to be in Pontiac, it was a given. They said, oh man, they know they're good out with their hands. They good with their hands. That's what Pontiac was known for. So you take an individual that got assault cases on other men and guards in Pontiac. You take this individual in Pontiac, the Thunderdome. It's like somebody say, man, that dude was hella intelligent. What was that? Oh, he wrote the laws and stuff. He was in Stateville. You say, okay, pretty intelligent cat. Pontiac is like somebody say, man, that person fought in Caesar's palace. They're known for their hands. So you take this individual, man, who has a history of known for their hands. You place him in the women's prison under the auspices that this is now what you define as a woman. People say, well, they got, you know what I'm saying, taking hormone pills, going through the process, what have you. And most people, our communities, they get us to be so reactionary. Whatever the state say, they can see. I tell people all the time, I go places, people say, well, Chairman, you be getting upset. Say, no, that's not a Black Panther. That's not a Chevrolet. That's not, you know what I'm saying? And people say, well, no, you don't. That's not. I'm saying that's what they said. I said, no. I'm clear. You can't tell me who is that? Oh, this son, so he a Muslim. He's eating a whole bunch of skins and pork. You know what I'm saying? Don't know see Assalamu alaikum. Those are telltale. Well, he say he no. Cause see, your sanity. Once you let them, that's a maintenance of the positive. Nothing else provides us a sanity, a clarity. You can, you can be subjective all you want to. Well, to me, I saw this is this, so on and so forth. Take back to the case at hand. You intention the state. Not I'm saying the state. Not people say, well, we do this ourselves. Ain't no individual on their own walking up into no women's prison just I'm gonna be classified as step in. That's the dynamic of in our communities. Don't nothing come in our communities, from crack to chitlins, that the state ain't sanctioned. Ain't nothing in it. Ain't nothing in the city of Chicago that the cartel ain't got no cut on it. That's a reality. That's a reality. Ain't nothing that in the city cartel who work for the state. Yeah. Ain't no individual, ain't no male up in no women's prison on, you know what I'm saying, because he's just a Virgo, he want to go, because they fill out paperwork, actually which street organization you with. So the end of the day, we relate to a Lenin said, and a lot of y'all get a block on that. Lenin, the Russian Revolution. Yeah, white individual. Yeah. Lenin said, we define you and we define situations as well as ourselves. Now, how you view the state, now the state views you. In other words, at the end of the day, how the state views you, when you're in they place this individual in a women's prison. Mind you, the track record. You get out on guards. Let's say get out on them physically. Guards and other men. And you can run this nonsense. Well, don't say that we all the same. It's really in your mind how you identify with. Again, there's you call the scientists. There are chemicals. There's physical dynamics that make the distinguishment. As in the cry, the clamor that's been calling out from these camps is this motherfucker's been running amok. In them walls. It's behind them gates. And the state thing long range, what it produces, I'm talking about the psychic, and it's a term they use called state property. But in Signal, they had a group thing. The group they called out, I had an issue with the term. Basically, state property is that whatever happens to you while you're in there is on their watch. Whatever. I told the director of the prisons one time, he said, this director said to me, why are you on a hunger strike? Are you having issues with a particular guard? I said, let me be very clear. I'm held captive here. If I choke off a turkey sandwich, anything happens, it's on you, the state. I'm held captive. Nothing happens to me, anyone inside that camp. When people talk, one time, all the drugs that come in, so what is the prisoners bringing in? No. This is a controlled environment. What's happening to these women? It's intentional, it's strategic. It's political. And I know that, and other nationalities of people more affluent, they can afford the luxury sometimes to play. Let's be vague about what a Black Panther Party member is. Let's be vague about what a man or a male or a female or woman. When you colonize, when you held captive in particular, everything is taken from you. Your name, you name it. Why do you think rape is seen? People say like in prison, even the prisoners have an issue with rape. It's kind of similar to Richard Pryor, comedic genius Richard Pryor, who's heavily impacted by the Black Panther Party. Richard Pryor made a joke about it. He said, you can ride through the neighborhood, brothers be out there holding their private parts. And they said, man, why you holding that? Why you doing that? And the black man would say, man, the white man took everything else. It's a crime. There's a community that's been ripped up from everything. Your resources, your name, everything. I mean, you actually have a number to give you in prison. And your last thing that it's your body. That you got to go on, in order to go for a visit, you got to be strip searched. You got to be demoralized. You got to be like a animal. You got, you know what I'm saying? The degrading way they search you. You know what I'm saying? Just to be in a cage with another individual. You know what I'm saying? You pass gas, you shit, your feces, you got smell of it. They had a thing in the Cook County Jail. They do the motherfuckers. They supposed to stop. Nuts, they call that shit called nuts the butt. You know what I'm saying? Where they would make naked men go stand back to back with each other. Naked. Put your nuts to another motherfucker butt. I know some people gonna say, well, security, you might be taking some drugs and blah. This is the breaking process. This is to take away any symbolism. See, and most people, they only frame of reference of a man is how many motherfucking women you in the bed or how many niggas you put in the grave. A lot of, you know what I'm saying, the difference of a woman. How many men you got. But see, to be armed with and they stay to tell you that, and then they can snatch it away. The politics. Regardless of how much resources you got, you know what I'm saying? State that we take a position, state that make a motherfucker no man, they can't take this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling somebody, I say, you look in Arizona jail, Arizona prison. They had DMX in Arizona prison. When they came to court, they had DMX. Arizona dude, the sheriff of Arizona prison. They had motherfuckers wearing pink jail suits. You think it was by coincidence? You think it was by coincidence? They had jail people wearing pink. Even when they gave DMX that jail suit, his manhood still stood out. Certain motherfuckers, I don't give a fuck what the fuck you try. When that Ayanna Van Zant show, when they tried to break them, they tried to break DMX. When his son now, his manhood still stand out. Still stood out. It's not by coincidence. This monster they create. They put him in positions like that, in places like that, inside this camp to run amok. That direct on Freedom on Radio, y'all. On the road, making history, taking history. Any callers in queue? Now 294-773-785, press 1. And you want not to, I'm so passionate about definitions and being consistent, because they can switch around any given day. The state was fashionable. I first came home from prison. I first got out of prison. First came home. Told a certain about 9 years. This cat say, "Man, what's happening? You out, huh?" Yeah. He said, "Come on. I'm gonna get you some clothes." We walked to this store on 59th and Ashland. And I remember the shock. I said, "Whoa, the colors alone, it blew me." I said, "Damn." I said, "Hold on, give me a minute. I've been seeing state prison blues and brown khaki jail suits." I said, "Give me a second, catch my breath." And he was trying to tell the clothes. He said, "Man, he'll get there." I said, whoa, slow down. He said, "Man, that's what they wearing now, man." I said, "All due respect, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good." He said, "Man, I'm buying you these clothes." And I said, "No, man." I said, "Man, I appreciate it, man, but I'm good. I'll wear these state prisons, you know what I'm saying, a little longer." See, everything is political, including fashion. Again, to be held captive, man, you ain't got shit. And to have a motherfucker do this, they create these criminals, the psychic of these motherfuckers, man. And they put them amongst us, and none of us can distinguish a man from a male or female from a woman. We have to up the ante. I just made a comment earlier. One of the beautiful dynamics about this 50 years, be honest with you, I think hip-hop been around since we was in Africa. Ain't nothing new under the sun, change the words and turns to it. However, just hearing KRS-One of the day, Lady Rage at the Essence Fest, and Roxanne Shante, just even hearing it puts you in context. Like, this slop hop, these motherfuckers selling us. This ain't no motherfucking hip-hop. And I tell you, when people see me in the West, whoa. And I tell them, a lot of people, imagine your first concept of woman being this motherfucker Sukihana telling him to eat some ass. Or Uzi Vert sit up in the BET Wars and the girl call him a bitch ass nigga and they walk out together like it's cool. That's a lot of that's their first concept of something. You got a motherfucker they done put inside the women's camp, and intentionally, who been a monster amongst men. Because a lot of times you think, oh man, he fighting, he go, you know what I'm saying? No, a lot of these motherfuckers be fighting to prove to themselves this shit. Because something that you ain't clicking in. I tell motherfuckers at one time, even organizing. A lot of these ones doing their Black Panther, they be going, oh boy, oh man, a white man, blah, blah. I say, man, motherfuckers doing all their complexes, they tell you right there. Motherfucker, I say, man, where I come from? I say, man, listen. Jim, you got an issue? No, I ain't got an issue. No, we don't have issues. We clear. We deal with issues. You know what I'm saying? They have psychological profiles. They got motherfuckers who have never had they can do their lineage and their DNA, and they know what they're gonna do. Put them in this women's prison, they know what they're gonna do. Put this motherfucker in their community, you know what they're gonna do. 929-477-3785. Press 1 to get in. Sister Comer, any callers in queue? No callers?
No callers. Callers, press 1, please.
The real mental, you say your enemy, what is that? Your enemy is your state of mind. deal is, you know, no, freedom also come around. I'm gonna say this though. I relate to more of a dialectical material. It's a clear. These sisters inside this Camp Logan are dealing with more than their state of mind. They are subject to being attacked, and being attacked by a concrete, tangible dynamic in the real world. A lot of people say, "For your, you know, just do your own spiritual growth, you'll be all right." But in the meantime, between time, we dealing with dialectical materialism. We dealing with goddamn it, man. We dealing with Logan Penitentiary, yeah. We dealing with a monster. This motherfucking machine is manufactured. You know, that's a monster. This machine is manufactured in our communities. They got motherfuckers they take their families from them, put them in foster homes, they create them, and let them run amok on the motherfucker. And then add to that motherfucker thing, that's just something we did on our own. Freedom, so we got a call in queue. Fremont, on Fremont Radio.
We had a couple calls, but I didn't get them through. But man, I'm just man. It's this whole show, right? It's just man. Being in the camp not too long ago, my brother, another was from California, the condition of men and women in there. And man, it's just, I would have to call in. I don't think. You know what we're doing already. Man.
Fremont, he flashed back on when he was held captive, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, the dynamics of held captive is minimized. People just think you just locked up.
Yeah.
You're forced to eat what you provided. You're forced to quote unquote rest your schedule, your mindset. When you close your eyes and all, you know. I still am up all night as a result of being held captive. A lot of I need that background noise cut off in the back. Mute the phone, the background noise. I need that background noise muted. You lost my train of thought. I spent the county being held captive. Oh. I recall in Stateville, we call it Deathville. We was in our house segregation. The beatings were so notorious in them that were headed by then Captain Manning. And I remember we organized a hunger strike, the times of beatings. And his one brother, he was a reactionary, hell of a cat though, hell of a cat. I remember one time they would open our doors and the guards would come in and they would throw tear gas. You know if it was your breakfast or the guards was coming to beat you down. And one time this little brother, I remember him just coming out, they let him out to say and he just stood there, just said, kill me. We used to tease him, joking about it later on. But I remember a discussion with him one time, and you know, in a braggadocious way, he was talking about as a child in the juvenile detention center. When he was a juvenile, he is what a lot of people refer to as being state raised. In other words, before 16 years old, being locked up in a juvenile detention. And the female guards would always come talk to him. He would talk to them like he's doing this. You know, he was as he say he macking to them. And he kept on bragging about how many women guards he had in his life. And I had got fed up one day because there was some young brothers that he was selling his snake oil to. He was talking about as a child. He said, not as a child. When he was back in his juvenile, when he was in the joint, the juvenile joint. He was talking about all the guards. How he was running amok. He had no problem being locked up. He been getting female guards all his life. So he was selling this snake oil. He was going overboard about this. A lot of people had their complex. They go overboard. They trying to internalize like it's a decision they making. Because being oppressed is embarrassing. And I tell you, we try to jive ourselves about it. But I couldn't take it when I heard him telling this young brother this. And I finally, as I say, I had to cut him. I said, look, brother, you were 12, 13 years old, held captive, locked up, and you saying that the same people that had to control to lock your doors and lock you up and control your food, you had a relationship with these adult individuals? And I remember it like literally it just hit him when it occurred. It literally it just hit him when it occurred. There was a big discussion about Thomas Jefferson, slave owner, with Sally Hemings. People said, well, there's a relationship. I said, yeah. I remember a young lady was telling me her grandmother, her great-grandmother, during the era of chattel slavery, had a relationship with one of the Frenchmen. I said, a relationship during slavery? I said, could your great-grandmother say at any given time she was like, engaged in sexual intercourse and she had a headache or something like that? Question of power. Question of power. I remember that young brother pulled me to the side. He said, I never saw it that way. I never saw it that way. It's an insult to your intelligence. When you put these male parts, male sex organs, criminal amongst other men, criminal amongst other males, they got random up from, you see people, you say, man, that motherfucker want shit on that block, and they come and say, why they throwing them on this block? Now you gonna throw them around some women who held captive. And you say, well, this got to be, you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe it's a coincidence. No, they in the joint, they come through, they ask you, any gang affiliations, this and that. They do a psychological profile on you. That's what they call an aggression level. Your if you're a person, when I first was taken to Galesburg prison, they initially placed me on Unit 4. Unit 4 was all the young cats. They buck wild. The plan was to have me, like, I don't know, shook up, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So they placed these young cats were so wild, the other prisoners had a disdain for them because these young individuals, they would send the prison up right before a picnic. Right, you know what I'm saying? They was reactionary. These cats 17, 18, they buck wild. They ain't never had sex. They ain't never had they ain't never laid naked with a woman in their life. They man fresh on the street. They buck wild. They dawn on them when they got 50 years in the penitentiary. They buck wild. They in the shower taking showers with their state boots on, tied to the top, big old ginsus, shanks all tied around their waist. They only way to release energy. And sometimes they say in the joint in the prison, they say, man, they meet guys. Some guys say, what you gonna do? Fight or fuck? They think was just, man. That's how these young cats see the world. And that was the first place they sent me to, like in 1985 in Galesburg. When they came back on that unit and seen them cats sitting at the table, engaging in political education from Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. every week at the same time, disciplined. Still had their issues. Structured, you had some, they still had their things on them, they were still separate, but political education. When they seen the different body language, them kids, oh, man, we gotta reset this motherfucking program. Yeah. This doc, you ask anybody that was down in that Galesburg, you ain't seen a different dynamic with these cats. They came and got me and said, you out of here. You're not packing your property, you out of here. Then they transferred me to Unit 1. Where the old times was at. So, okay, we're gonna put him over here. You got Don Booney Black, long live him. Legend. Truck, Redman, Earl Good, Mongoose, who's locked up right now. We're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, right, working to push for him to be released. Earl Good. Legend. They put him in the wing with these older cats. They thought he gonna get over the older cats, he gonna fall in play, he gonna just take it easy. Next thing you know, we having discussions. Now y'all report the street Chicago, y'all report the Don Booney Black. Don Booney Black telling me about the story. He said, man, I was in Menard. He said he was in Menard. He said, Chairman Fred was there. He said Menard Prison didn't get the word that Chairman Fred had got assassinated. He said, matter of fact, they say it was rumored that the Vietnamese heard about Chairman Fred being assassinated before Menard Prison got the word. But excuse me, Menard prisoners. That's how isolated Menard Prison. They kept it. Don Booney Black had told me when they got the word confirmed that Chairman Fred had been assassinated. Don Booney Black. Say, other prisoners told me this story. So he came out the doors. He stood up. All of them stood. Don Booney wrote a poem. Said a poem on the prison gallery. It was silent for Chairman Fred happened. Another old John Rick, I remember him telling me. He said, "Yeah, man, we heard about you at the issue you had with such and such different guy." He said, "It was my son one day that y'all had." I said, "Yeah." I said, "I knew you." He said, "Yeah, my son." He say, at your headquarters, he said, you know me and my son, you and my son get the same birthday, same year. I said, "Whoa." I said, I knew the nigga had some heart. I knew he had some backbone in him, man. I knew it. We laughed about it. But this, I'm saying to say, this would trigger all type of the connection that they weren't planning on happening. I remember at the boxing ring, and you would hear legends about Goose. Say, man, this guy can't go to the boxing ring because everybody, they say, man, he can't handle him. He acting the fool in the boxing ring. Now, man, he about 60-something. I'm late 60s back, but then. So this young Kevin Walt Keegan gets in the boxing ring with him, and I said, man, get back in the ring. What you can't, man? He said, "Chairman, I said, fuck it. Give me the boxing gloves." So I get in the boxing. I get the boxing ring. And I'm gonna say this. Chairman Fred said, "You damn sure you didn't win." So I definitely struggled. But man, I look at boxing all the way different. Now, it's a science to that shit. And I remember coming back to the unit with all the old guys. And Don Booney coming, "Oh man, Hampton, I could have told you, man. Goose, he had the championship in 77 and 83. He remember that." So I said, "I don't hear that story now." But all this, the dialogue and discussion, we tying it back, you know what I'm saying? It was a recharge on that wing with them guys. The state, they had a plan, they got a psychological profile. It's not by coincidence that this criminal was put over in Logan Prison with them women. They had a plan for me when they put them youngsters back there in Unit 4. They had a plan for me in Menard Prison when they took me down to the history of Menard Prison is that there was no cross racing. No, they would not put black prisoners with white prisoners. There was 2 cases what happened. A guy named Ed and myself. They came and got me in Menard Prison in 1998. Said shower time. I said, shower time? I thought we on lockdown. I said, I get a shower. So, gotta go out and shower. They take me down, unshackle the prison bar, the gate to the door. When you open it, the word shower is really not the term to use for this room. 4 pipes, water dripping from the top, birds flying, water up to almost to your knee level almost. You can't see the floor. The water's so gray, such a film, so dirty. Run me in there, run behind me. Who they bring in? The Northsiders. For those outside the local Chicago area, probably what you refer to as your Aryan Brotherhood, so on and so forth. White boys, so they bring them in. So inside the shower, one light bulb. That was now some people say, well, man, maybe they ain't had no other shower space. It was, they was running slow on shower time. Okay, well, as what my man said earlier, it's a state of mind. Free. So I'm gonna let some of y'all stay there. It's the state of mind. In the meantime, I gotta do this tangible reality, this contradiction of what I'm saying, of me being inside this room with water, one light bulb. So while they inside the for lack of a better, this quote unquote shower. So even the North, they like, man, what's to this? This is a contradiction. This is a contradiction for this black cat to be in here with us in a place that historically separates races. So what do? Heighten the contradictions. That's right. A lot of people say run from. So the Comrade Dabney said to me one time, she said, Chairman, a lot of people run from trouble, you run to trouble. We hiding we hiding the contradictions. So while I'm up under taking a shower, I'm singing the Biggie Smalls song. If I go, somebody else got to go. If I die, acknowledging that the odds are I might come up missing this motherfucker. But however, if I go, somebody else got to go. If I die, somebody else got to die. Come beating it to the punch. Don't be no surprise. I'm not, what man said earlier, in your mind. I'm not in no subjective bubble to believe that I'm in this motherfucking room with no 10 Northsiders and the odds of me. I'm not planning no motherfucking visits next week, but I know, you know what I'm saying? We deal with the real world. That's what we deal with. Dialectical materialism. Not some abstract bubble. So confronting it, beating it to the check, grabbing that motherfucker by the horns. So I'm saying, yeah, when I die, if I die, somebody else got to die. Yeah. That's the position we take. Yeah. Heightening the contradictions. Not as some subjective bubble. So they talking to themselves. They're like, man, what's going on? So amongst these individuals is a white cat named Robin Hood. You know how they say in your neighborhood, it's always one white person from the neighborhood. So this cat was not with the Northsiders. He's a white dude, but they made a mistake and included him with the group. So he telling them, he said, man, y'all know what it is? He telling them, I'm overhearing them. He said, man, dude, that's the Black Panther cat. Who is Chairman Fred? So he's like, man, why is he in here? He tells you, I don't know what they on. We said, but dude, about the people, man. He said, dude, man, he telling the history that I didn't know he knew about me. He telling about my case, the white dude. Now he ain't read on Twitter. People said, Chairman, I didn't know about this here. He's in the conditions that force in those camps, you got to know who was who. It ain't about you. You don't know if I was a Capricorn, a Virgo, none of that. You gotta know where you go get. In prison, you gotta know between an inmate, a convict, a prisoner, a resident. Yeah, ain't no just all of them the same. Huh? Ain't no just all of them the same. You gotta be able to distinguish this shit. That's in the real world. Ain't no just in my mind, I'm free. You come in there telling me, well, I identify as this you want to, and that motherfucker, no, that's a go-getter. Don't pull out with such and such. I told these sidetrack one time. I told this young cat, one of these young cats came in there one time. I say, shorty, check this out. The word punk don't mean the same in here that it mean on the streets. It don't mean the same. Oh, you couldn't tell these young motherfuckers nothing. They been out there rolling with their cars, blasting jewelry, everything. So they in the motherfucking, they made a mistake and thought this guy was a punk. That prison term, they thought he was a punk, the same thing on the street. And they got educated. Yeah. They got educated. They got a crash course quick. They got a crash course quick. Back to the situation, the shower with Menard. So they talking. They say, I'm politicizing these kids. Yeah, man, I'm Chairman Fred. Talking about they said, oh, we heard about you, man, blah. Yeah. They said, man, just left such and such, okay, man. Next, we talking about the conditions, the water inside the camps, why we ain't got no fans inside the cells, so the guards come back down an hour later. Now you may think, well, some people like, damn, they gave us some extra shower time in your mind. When they came and opened, you heard the chain around behind the gates. When that lieutenant opened their gate, they literally looked at the ground. They was expecting to see blood for that. That water supposed to be red, not gray. You can see they shock on their face when we came up out of that motherfucking thing. The white boys, the north side. Hey, Chairman, what cell you in? Army 720, man. You got any coffee down there? Yeah, man. Matter of fact, send a couple of shots down there. Yeah. Excuse me, Lieutenant, what time y'all running showers again tomorrow, man? Them motherfuckers face at the floor. See, with this politics, you can't run no trivial shit on us. Imam Jamil Al-Amin from those H.R. Brown. They put him around the area in Fulton County Jail, the white boy. They come back, he got the motherfucker taking shahada. See, This shit here, they call a thermometer or a thermostat. The thermometer or thermostat, I heard this pastor say one time. Some people, you go in there, you go along with the temperature. Some of us, you set the temperature. Shit. My man just tuned in right now. I'm in front of him up right now. He on Facebook right now. Red Price. That's him right there. Yeah. Love this young brother, yeah. Love this young brother. I'm finna, yeah. Tell you a war story about him. Love this young brother. He's in Pontiac. He was in Pontiac. He was in the Thunderdome. They bring me in Pontiac. I'm not in SAG. He's in isolation. SAG. I'm on what they call administrative detention. I ain't got no tickets, no nothing. They got me taking more pictures than motherfucking Tyra Banks. They talking about security risk. They talking about a piece of hair growing on my face. Run up to take another picture. I ain't know he's gonna be on here. Man. So this young brother, he's in the cage 2 cells down from me. See, Minister Huey P. Newton never met Field Marshal George Jackson face to face. They were cells apart from each other, but they knew each other. As they said, Minister Huey loved any man, he loved Field Marshal George Jackson. So this young brother right here, Red Price, man, he in the cell, a couple of cages down from me, you know what I'm saying? He rapping, he doing his thing on, he rapping. So I say, man, I like your talent, man, but man, what you talking about? So typical response, young brother, he don't know me. He say, man, you don't know how it is in those streets, OG, man. You know, because a lot of people think to be a revolutionary, you got to be this abstract conscious. You got to be in this green juice beanbag ass world. I tell you think Chairman Fred organized the Rainbow Coalition with some kumbaya? So the brother was explaining to me about the streets. I said, oh, okay, I got you, so I just couldn't understand. I said, man, your talent, about, get up the ante. So while he's talking to me, they bring another cat that's known on the streets. So I tell you, you need a liaison to help educate. So the cat come in, cat named Crazy Stone. Everybody know this cat. He did dialectical materialism, Young Red. He seen the respect that dude have for me. He said, man, you know him? They said, yes, Chairman Fred, man. He come through the Henry Hornet projects, woo. He ain't no jailhouse turner. He didn't get in here and become conscious. They took him in this motherfucker because of what he was on. So I was like, damn, so now the whole gallery like, man, what the fuck, who is this? So then they run me to shower. The Red say, I hear him, he don't know him. He said, why they call him Little Chairman? Big as he is. Why you call him Little? So now we talking about Chairman Fred Senior. One thing is going on and on. This thing we have political education on the motherfucking gallery. He's still with us right now today. This is over 25 motherfucking years ago, man. It's over 25 motherfucking years ago. This politics ain't no express date on this shit, man. We want to, goddamn it, man, heighten the contradictions, man, whether it be Logan in particular, man. They ain't even play these motherfucking politically correct games, no motherfucker, where how you, motherfucker, they got a criminal male running amok in there with these women, man. Yeah. We got any callers in queue? Freedom, we got any callers in queue?
Yes, Alicia Walker.
Welcome to Freedom On Radio.
Alicia Walker and Sadie Walker.
Right. Hey, how you doing, sis? Welcome to Freedom On Radio. I'm doing all right. Sis, man, keep my head up. How y'all holding up?
We're holding up pretty good.
Right on. Okay, to bring us up to speed, for those who may just be tuning in, bring us up to speed, who the case, who we are, so bring us back from last week, where we at and what's going on.
Okay, my nephew Tyrone Edo Terrell Walker, and I had gave you his case number. It's 23C as in Charlie, R as in Robert, -22349. He's locked up in Conway, Arkansas, in Faulkner County. And I was telling you a lot of things that they have done. They have covered up things. They got a lot of fraud going on. A lot of things were shared with us that we know that's a fact. Even with the probation officer, first he said that he was good on his end, then he changed the story. I believe they went and scared him. He changed the story. So we were just telling you that he have court on August the 16th in Conway, Arkansas, and that's going to be at 9 a.m. in the morning. So I was calling in again to just remind you that's going to be a big day for Tyrone. They're trying to give him an evaluation that he didn't say he wanted. to try to say there's something going on, mental illness going on. So we were calling in just to remind you of that, and then I wanted to know, where do we go from here? You did say you would help legally, if we need help there, and we do. Because the attorney that he has, now she have rejected all his calls. She's not even answering, and we paid all this money, so she's basically turning her back on him. But I did turn her into the Bar Association, so they're aware of this. I do have to get in touch with them to see how far we have came. So when he goes to court on August the 16th, I'm going to present, because I think he's walking away.
Okay, so let me say that. I'm gonna say right on for calling back in. Let's struggle the stress that when you call for my security and our people's security and your nephew's security. I want to struggle to say that you didn't call and tell me. You told the listening audience. See, the people are our best security. You know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that, you know what I'm saying? That's why we want the people to take this case. That's my niche. That's my support. You know what I'm saying? Because as an individual, I'm doomed. You know what I'm saying? And I tell them, you know what I'm saying? So I know people, you know, say, what's the big deal? I'm not speaking about like grammar correction, something political. And my thing again is not the legal. My thing is the politics of it. Get this. The lawyers got to play their role. But I really want the people to embrace this. I need them to understand that we need, like, we got people that down there, down south, Alabama, Arkansas. So I really want to stress this, that we need, like I say, see, it's a piece where Chairman Fred was speaking in court, and he's defending himself. He's defending himself. Chairman Fred Hampton was defending himself. It's a document we call it the assassination of Chairman Fred. It's one of what he was saying. He said, "Why do I have problems? Why do they have an issue with me?" He said, I'm teaching some people. I'm winning some people. You know what I'm saying? Not just saying I'm getting them together. And as an individual, he said, that's not the problem. So I want to stress to our listening audience. We need y'all assistance. I want this case. We need legal assistance. We need the word out. We need rappers to touch this in their case. I cannot stress that enough. And a lot of people, we get subconsciously, we think that's our only, that's what, no disrespect, but I tell people, say, it's an image that's in people's mind that whatever happened to them, that they only reprise, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people, they only think of getting justice, whatever, is Ben Crump, attorney Ben Crump. I mean, and that's intentional. It's a different dynamic. I say, you know what I'm saying? My niche is the people that what keeps me alive. What keeps up our people that say, man, we don't know. Like, see, like when the police pull up on an individual, anyone else in particular, it's not out of fear of that police that you scared of him as an individual or her. The structure of what they represent. You don't know what the judge gonna do. You don't know what's gonna happen in the prison. It's a structure. It's a system. It's a machine. It's an entity. We trying to do, like I'm set to speak at an event coming up soon, and they come and say, why you gotta have chairman on the flyer? I want people to understand we have a structured organization. We have a people's machine. That, you know what I'm saying, the rappers talking about this case, that all lights are down, you know what I'm saying, on this case, on the common subject, that, you know, so the lawyers can play their role. So the social media can play their role. That's what we want to do. It sets up our security. It sets up his security. So even other prisoners in there can have his back. So that's what we want to struggle to say, listen, y'all, this sister, that family, your family, is could not. So say I put out a call to you all. I got a brother right now who I love, Prince Arheem. His father just passed. I love this brother. And I say, the people, he got so much pride, he not gonna say nothing about the finances needed to bury his father. How much pride. Now he'll come out and help everybody else and their mama. So what we done is, I put a call out. I say, listen, man, this brother needs to get his father buried. Now I got some people calling now about they gonna do a repast, cooking food. We have some more people that they're gonna donate this. It opens the door for any people say well, I ain't got no money, but I can do this. To save the Hampton House. There was somebody said, I can bring some bottled water, I can do some paint. So somebody say, listen, I can drive you. I got a cousin that can drive you down to visit your, you know what I'm saying, your nephew. That's what I want to push this. So give us his name and location again.
Yes.
That, you know what I'm saying? We excuse me, you got me messing my English up. We want to push this, and we gotta get in the habit of that. We gotta get in the habit of the habit, like you see. When America say certain shit, our country, we going for our people. It doesn't, because it's not as an individual, and that's the whole dynamic. Something happened to our grandmama. It ain't, oh man, yeah, you fucking with grandma. No, you fucking with our family. So we want our people to understand this case, to connect with this, so it can open all possibilities. So, man, what can you do? Well, I don't do nothing, but what you do? Well, put it on social media. Share that somebody down there to put the word out. Well, man, I know some students working on the case. They need some credit hours for their course. Okay, right. If you might just say, I might write them or whatever. And they might have all type of interest. Somebody might write them. Somebody might come and say, man, I had that same lawyer. She fucked over me too. What? Now we can heighten the contradictions. So she don't feel comfortable to be out. See, heighten the contradictions is really like you're turning the lights on. You know, some motherfuckers don't feel comfortable or cocky enough to pull. Man, we want them motherfuckers in Logan prison to say, man, you're not finna have this motherfucking monster running amok. You know what I'm saying? We not just talking about this motherfucking that you got down there as an individual. See, who put him in play? You know what I'm saying? Who got him out there amongst these women? You know what I'm saying? In this case, this lawyer, who, you know what I'm saying? Who in the case, who recommended her? All this gotta come out. Hiding the contradictions.
Right.
So again, give us his case number. We yet, you know what I'm saying? What the date is. I need some people to start hashtagging this. Excuse me, not start. Continue, push the line with this, y'all. August 16th. So let us get the information, sis. We need legal assistance. Legal ain't my niche, sis. Political, man. Hey, politically, I can walk this shit backwards blindfolded. But legally, we need, you know what I'm saying? We need some support on that. I know the basis. I got a block in my man because with the courts, though, you know what I'm saying. But man, we need support. We need legal. We need social media. We need technical assistance. We need all that. You know what I'm saying? So come on with it, y'all. Come on. All right, so give us the information again.
Okay, his name is Tyrone Walker. His case number is 23 C as in kite. C as in cat. R as in rabbit. 22349. And we call him T, but his name is Tyrone Edo Terrell Walker. I can spell that if you want me to.
Somebody on my YouTube channel, Ayana, she done beat you to it. She done got it written up on my right now. You know what I'm saying? See, she got it typed up already on my YouTube. Chairman Fred Jr. on YouTube, y'all. She got it written up already. Say it against me on Twitter. Let's get it up on Twitter, y'all. Put up the hashtag legal assistance needed. Give us your contact or your Facebook. They can contact you. You know what I'm saying? Man, don't see that. We don't make it like it's like Chairman Fred tripping or Chairman Fred needs some assistance. The people got to be connected to the people. Okay, give it.
My Facebook page is Lisa. It's Lisa Bell Walker.
Mm-hmm.
You did post it last week.
No. We did. The people posted it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, let me say this. Hypothetically, if it was just me, I tell you all the time. If it is just one individual, don't let the world know that. You know what I'm saying? See, the people posted it. Don't make it like it's just because see, if the state think it's just me, they're take me out the game. My security is the people. They say, okay, listen, this motherfucker, shit, we do something to him. It's some more motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? The people posted it. The people. You know what I'm saying? Man, I know it sounds cliches. It sounds nice. I'm telling you, what keep me alive, what keep us alive, y'all. That's why the people, you get, man, set the atmosphere. They don't know our weak links. Man, repost this. The people repost this, rerun it, get it out there. Again, the people. Court date August 16th.
Yep, August 16th at 9:00 a.m. And that'll be in Faulkner County Courthouse.
Okay, right on.
Conway,
Tell them yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Faulkner Court, yep. Faulkner Courthouse, yep. Okay, right on. What time? We 6:22. Okay, go ahead, sis.
They changed dates. They done did some some bogus stuff. It's like they were saying that he got locked up in Faulkner County. That wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
He was at my nephew's house. That's he pulled out and they just pulled him over and they told him that he made a wrong turn and let him go. But the next day, he pulls out and they stop him. And we got a warrant. He said, "How do I have a warrant? You stopped me yesterday." And now he ends up in jail, and they had to take him from Illinois to Kentucky all the way to Arkansas. So that's where he is now. So it's some police named Taylor. I'm the one who arrested him. That's not true. He didn't. He got arrested in Illinois, and they begin to change dates. There's a lot of undercover stuff going on.
Yeah.
Change dates, and my nephew know all his dates perfectly, but they changed them. And they said that they say that things to the judge that has happened and has not happened. Like when I went to court twice and I saw where there was a lot of undercover things going on. If they trying to throw something on him that he didn't do. And that's why I'm fighting so hard, because I'm like, no, I got to get him out of there. Me and my family was fighting to get him out of this trouble that I see that is unjust. He needs justice.
Let's connect up. A lot of times people connect on the battlefield. Let's connect, you know what I'm saying? Let's connect with the case, see what's going on in Logan prison right now with these women. You might be some family members you can connect with, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of times alliances. Like how you look at different countries, they say, man, why did you're on World War II? They have what they call Allied forces and Axis forces. They start getting together. Hey, man, what you on? I'm trying to get down over here too. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the U.S. and why are United States and France? Why are they together on this time? Maybe they like each other. Maybe they Virgos. No, they have a common interest. So put your ear to the ground on what other issues were going on. Logan prison, the women. What's going on with the women in Logan prison? Then you start connecting. You know what I'm saying? You get back up. You want to start connecting. So study these cases we talked about. Let's see if we can connect them. You know what I'm saying? Connect the dots. Say, listen, I need somebody to do blah blah blah. I'm good with letter writing. I make it help you do such and such. So you know what I'm saying? That's what but still coming in. Recognize, like I gave an example earlier about when I was locked up. The North Siders, they said, man, we heard about you talking about, because it was hot as hell in San Manon. They said, man, we heard you want to fight for us to get fans. And that don't mean that we became buddies, but that was a common interest that we, you know what I'm saying, that we have some points of unity on. So check out, stay in tune with us. Y'all, you know what I'm saying, see somebody correspond. Even give it his number and correspond with her directly, y'all. A major thing, they need legal assistance. Again, legal assistance. Put the pressure on. So, you know what I'm saying? The different lawyers, so and so will say, man, we got a case, we need some assistance on you. Somebody down there to work on the case, what have you. And then you just said just a basic look. You see the contradictions, but again, open the door, open the mindset to just not, you know what I'm saying? So they is able to connect with other cases, other communities. All right?
All right. Now, you mentioned about the fans. I talked to my brother that's in Fayetteville prison, and he was telling me how hot it is in there. He said, we can't hardly breathe in here, so hot. He said, they over there in the air conditioning, and we over here burning up.
Man.
He said they got fans. And
we gotta heighten these contradictions. That's what I'm saying. See, listen, sis. I've been out 20-some years. You see, I'm still talking about it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be consistent with this here. We can't wait till it become a discussion. You know, not you, but a lot of times people wait till it happen to them. You know what I'm saying? I was talking about Cook County Jail being built on top of toxic waste before I was even in Cook County Jail. We gotta tie this conversation in. There's a sister I bet she's gonna call in the show go before her father locked up. We can be talking about goddamn it, the motherfucking flowers growing in the garden. She gonna tie in on her father case and tie in other case. You know what I'm saying? It's Sister Cassandra Greer. I met her through her husband, Nicholas Lee, in Cook County Jail when the coronavirus first started kicking out. She tried to put the pressure on them by giving her husband medical treatment. Sheriff Tom Dart, they didn't give him no attention. They basically took him out. Before this, she wasn't involved in no move, no nothing. She been on their motherfucking, not only about that, man, that's how I know about this situation with the women in Logan. She gonna say it's connected, and she's still pushing the line. man, the former mayor of Chicago, Lightfoot, so she, man, soon this case, man, it was her on her tenure that Nicholas Lee got took out. You know what I'm saying? And consistent, she ain't let her one bit, but she tying this in. It be some all the other cases and conditions, contradictions going on in our community. We gotta tie this in. It ain't gotta mean that we all, oh man, we cool now, we all homies and we friends. You know what I'm saying? Man, tying this in, we gotta be consistent with this here. And it'd be like people say, you'll be surprised what sort of resources come. Somebody might call, oh man, I'm a lawyer. I work with tennis rights. You're like, well, I'm cool. I don't need no tennis. Hold on. I think I just heard somebody need that. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Connect, man, connected. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Man, a climate, a community where it's not just, well, let me wait till it happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Tying this on a consistent basis. So, motherfucker, once the door's open, you never know what sort of resources and assistance that people can assist with or that's needed. Once we heighten the contradictions of putting this discussion out this, yeah, man, it's fucked up. Department of Truth. So the atmosphere now, hey, look, man, it get all eyes on going down what's happening. Man, all right, they just in Chicago? No, they talking down. They talking Arkansas, they talking Alabama. It's coming out all over. Logan Women's Prison, your shit. Well, listen, sis, they ain't had no soap and no water in the women's prison. We pulled to the front motherfucking door, sis, with soap and water. Mm-hmm. How we get the soap? I'm one of my indigenous comrades and natives. She overhear the conversation. What y'all? I said, yeah. She connected with the people, the people with the soap. They come. We put up with a motherfucking you, man. Next thing you know, we got a U-Haul full of the soap. We put up at the front door. Logan getting the women with the soap. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta keep this, gotta make this connection happen, y'all. That's what it is, y'all. That's I gotta roll out and give you my heads up. Okay, I'm gonna pull resources there. That's right on. Thank you so much. Thank you, sis. Right on. Same time, same station, y'all. Y'all keep your heads up, eyes on the fist, cause y'all. What's the call? Free them all, y'all. We on the road and Spirit of Making. If you take it, August 30th is going down. We working for a chairman, Fred Hampton Day. Make sure y'all calendars get them. Y'all know where to be at. August 30th. Don't tell me I ain't got no flyer. I forget about it. I ain't got, man, stick and move. What's happening in Logan Penitentiary, y'all? What the fuck is going on down in Logan Penitentiary? It's hiding the, man. When this Europeans say they love to perform, they treacherous in the dark. Let's turn the lights on this motherfucker, y'all. What's it called? Free them all. This is Comrade, take us out.